14 wrapping up. Welcome to the favorites presented by DraftKings. I'm your host, Brandon Kravitz, joined by my fellow degenerates, Kendra Middleton, Stuckey, the Prime Minister of Degenerate Nation, nursing his way back to health here. I hope you all had a rock solid Thanksgiving. I hope that your process of tossing leftovers is happening right now, because if not, it's kind of gross. You know, we're a couple of days past now. I think the expiration is about to hit. We've got our goats. We've got our wotes queued up. Our biggest takeaways from the Sunday slate, the 1 o'clocks, the 4 o'clocks, and a fast pass parlay for you for Monday Night Football, Patriots and Giants. We'll get you in and out before Sunday Night Football begins. Commanders, Broncos tonight. Kendra, where do you land on tossing those leftovers by Sunday? I feel like Sunday is the absolute drop dead date on Thanksgiving leftovers.
Okay, I'm not a leftover person at all. I actually hate leftovers. I will not eat them. I do not meal prep for this purpose. I think 48 hours and they gotta go, especially if you didn't make them in your own home and you don't know when or where or how somebody else cooked them. Get them out. See you later. You get one sandwich, maybe two, and they gotta go. Unless it's macaroni and you can, cook some chicken up and put some buffalo sauce on that, John. Good to go.
Stuckey.
Yeah, I had to rely on leftovers this Thanksgiving. Couldn't eat on Thanksgiving, but I did. My wife brought home like two big trays, those big trays that her in-laws filled with a bunch of sides and food. And in there, her mom, who's very aloof, put in some oyster casserole.
I knew that's where this was going.
Your favorite.
Yes, which is fun. That if you listen to our other episodes, you know why that's funny. But it was just mixed into the green beans, and my wife, who's pregnant, is deathly allergic to oysters. So luckily, I looked and scooped out some green beans, and then noticed that there was some oysters in there. So, yeah, saved her from like it would have been a disaster. Like she's
literal
like deathly,
anaphylaxis.
yes.
Like as a food allergy human, I can't. That's my biggest fear. No, thank you.
Yikes.
So
how you feeling, Stuckey? By the way, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm okay. I did like this morning. I broke like the when you break the cold, when like you're really really sick, and then you break like the cold sweat, and then
Yes.
like it just feels like. So that happened this morning, which was very nice. So yeah, I just need like one more like really hard day of rest, I think, and then I'll be okay.
You're
But
looking
yeah,
skinny.
I lost this past week. I lost all my money on bets. I lost a bunch of weight. And yeah, I threw out, but I threw out a bunch of the leftovers last night. I did have a duck. My wife made an extra duck that I got to eat yesterday, so that was nice. But yeah, I think the leftovers are up. I didn't get to make a sandwich. I used to like making the turkey and the stuffing and the cranberry and making a sandwich. So, but I didn't get to do that. I think like do you guys have Capriati's around you?
I've never heard
I know
of
what
that.
it is.
It's like a sandwich shop. They have like I like to make what they call, it's called like I think it's called the Bobby. And that's like the cranberry sauce lines, the hoagie roll, and then stuffing, and then turkey. Um, it's very good. I didn't get to do one of those this year.
Stuckey does look like Rocky Balboa, like right before his training is about to turn the corner. So
I'm cold.
Like
I'm
great look.
I'm cold. I'm trying
He's
to.
so skinny. I can't get over it. His face is so skinny.
Let's get to our recap. This will be very fast as far as our parlay goes, because what a tank job this was. We had the Rams -10. I had the Colts. It was my nominee at -4, and we're still waiting on the Giants +7.5 from Stuckey. But of course, that it doesn't matter for the sake of the 2 kings and a queen parlay.
We all had a terrible week.
It was awful. This was the worst NFL betting week. Thank God I had a good Thanksgiving and I went on a little staycation in the Orlando area with my family. Otherwise, I would be in sheer depression right now. I went 0-7 today in the NFL. Absolutely awful. But
Wow.
I'll start with my GOAT to spin this positive. We lost on the Rams bet. I didn't like it, but hey, I'm a team guy, so I bought in. I did not bet the Panthers off to the side just to, go with my original gut play, but they covered and won. This is now twice that, and we just have to give credit where credit is due here. This Panthers team, especially as an underdog, is one that we have to take seriously. Twice this season, winning as a double-digit dog. And as much as we've shit on Bryce Young throughout his career early on, I was amazed when I saw this. He's now the youngest player in NFL history to complete 11 game-winning drives as a quarterback. He beat out Josh Allen and Peyton Manning in that regard. Kendra, what do you have to say for your sad cats and the LA Rams
Okay.
who let us down big?
We talked about this pre-show, and I was telling you that I did not realize I had my two biggest plays that I have harped on my other show for months now that I believe I put in around August. I had the Panthers over on the season at 6.5. That hit today. I did have a bet on the Rams today, which was my leg of the parlay, obviously, which did not hit. But I didn't realize until somebody tweeted me that my Rams over from preseason could have hit today as well. I thought I got it at 10.5, but I gave it out at 9.5, went back and checked because I thought that person was mistaken. They were not. So either way, I was hitting a big future today, but totally got killed by the Rams. Still love my sad cats. Still a sad cat truther. Cashed out in that way today. Happy to take it. But man, I really think that we have to start as a society taking the Panthers seriously now. Even though I love the Rams, it doesn't change my opinion on the season that they're having, the season Matt Stafford's having, and the trajectory that I think that they're on for the postseason. But I think it just says a lot more about the Panthers right now. And I really do think that they're one of these teams where they're successful because it seems like they like each other. They're like the Patriots to me. Like, not only did they kind of make a leap as far as, getting a little bit better on some of their picks that they've taken in the last couple of years this offseason. Bryce Young's obviously gotten a lot better since he got benched and came back last year. But I think that this team truly just does like each other, which helps in a weird way.
I will say that it was an impressive win, especially when you consider everyone that they were missing on defense. Like they were decimated. But I will say, like a lot of when you're betting on football, a lot of times it comes down to like 5 or 6 plays, right? Like over the course of the game, fourth downs and turnovers. The Panthers got 3 turnovers. They got a pick six. Stafford threw a pick in the red zone. I think he only had 2 picks all season coming into the year, and he had 2 today. And then the Panthers went 3 of 3 on fourth down. I think they scored 2 touchdowns on fourth down. You got to give
Fourth
credit to
down,
Bryce
yeah.
Young for those throws, but you win the turnover margin 3-0, and you get 2 touchdowns on fourth downs where you go 3 of 3. Different game. You swing, 2 of those 6 plays. It's a completely different game. The Rams still did average, I think, 7 or 8 yards per play and move the ball at will, but you have to give credit to the Panthers on a short week getting that win. Uh, the Rams are still one of the best teams in the NFL. Doesn't change anything. It's similar like when the Packers lost to the Panthers. So yeah, credit to the Panthers for winning. But we're burying the lead. We didn't even bring up the other cats, the Jaguars, who are now in first place. The Jags. So now you're back on the Jag. I tried to tell you
No,
the Jags
no,
aren't going away.
Do it.
don't put words in my mouth. I think they're going to have a first round exit in the playoffs unless they play the
What'd you
Patriots.
say?
I
What
think
was
that
that word you said?
a first round
What was the
exit.
word you just
Was
said?
that P
What was the
word that
P
you
word you
used?
just said?
Oh, yeah, the playoffs. Yeah, the
So
P
we're going
word.
to the
Yeah.
playoffs now.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think honestly, this was going to be my hot take. I think 3 AFC South teams could make the postseason.
As of right now, I think that's what it would be.
Well, my wote actually, I'll just go ahead and empty the tank here for myself because my wote ties in perfectly with what we're talking about here, and it's the Colts. The armor is cracking for them. This was such a Colts spot back at home for the first time in a month against a quarterback returning from concussion. The Texans off the win of the year in prime time, and they wet the bed huge. 2 straight 1 possession losses for the Colts. And as it ties in with the Jacksonville Jaguars, of course, because they are division foes, the Jags right now they're in a better position than what I see with the Colts as far as where these teams are trending right now. And Indianapolis, who went from contending for the 1 seed to now they might be the third best team in the division. I mean, Houston looks like they're clearly the best team in the AFC South. Jacksonville very well could be the second best team, not because of anything that happened today. They played the Titans, but the Colts seem to be trending in the wrong direction, and Danny Dimes
Well,
doesn't look like the same guy.
so here's the thing. Jags easiest remaining schedule in the AFC South. 2, Sauce Gardner, they're saying it's a calf. I don't know. Looked a little bit like an Achilles to me. 3, the Jags play the Colts at home next week. And the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville in like a decade. I want to say it's close to a decade. Literally have not won in Jacksonville in a very, very long time. So you guys, the Jags might be able to play next week. I don't know.
Yeah, the Jags host the Colts. I didn't misspeak because the Bills beat the Steelers. The Bills just ran all over Pittsburgh. If so, they're in the 7 spot right now. The Texans are 1 game out, although they do have the tiebreaker over the Bills, which is worth noting. Uh, so the AFC South would only have 2 teams in right now, but the Colts, yeah, I mean, I played the Colts today too. I was with you. I thought Stroud looked good coming back off the concussion. Usually you see a dip, although the Sauce Gardner injury did change things. I mean, he got hurt right away, and that changes the entire complexion of like how dominant of a defense they could be. I thought you saw the loss of Buckner as well, but the whole Texans offensive operation looks much more serious now. And I thought Stroud played better. And I thought Jones played okay given the circumstances. I mean, he's playing on a fractured leg and against that Houston
That's
front.
insane.
And what ended up really costing the Colts, there was a questionable PI. I thought the Texans were the better team throughout the game, but the missed extra point early in the game, because
Can we
if
talk
you
about
don't
the
miss that, you can
kick?
kick the field goal late. You can kick the field goal to tie it at the end.
I think he missed that kick, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
that
so
extra
weird that
point.
did they
Yeah,
review
then
these
they would
things,
have been
by the
able
way?
to too.
You
I didn't think
can't.
that went in. They were showing I don't know what the ref. I saw that they were showing the replay of it. I don't know. I didn't have it on sound. I don't know what the TV ref was saying, but yeah, that didn't look like it went in. But a
The
big win for the
play-by-play guy
Texans.
was so confused because he called it a miss
Yeah,
on the actual play-by-play in the moment, and then they put the point on the board, and he goes, "What?" There was a lot of confusion in that. I agree as far as the Texans were the better team throughout. The fact that they were able to run tough, which is not something that they've been equipped at doing this year. Their backs, Woody Marks, washed up Nick Chubb, they should not be able to run the ball down your throat. They didn't score a ton of points, but it seemed like whenever they needed that key first down, they got it against this Colts team. 16 points for Indianapolis on their home turf. I was already not the biggest Colts believer. I thought this was a good week to buy in on them, but I'm right back to I will be a firm Colts hater after watching this all go down the way that it did. So, all right, you guys, floor is yours. Goats and woats for today. Stucky, who do you have?
woe is me. I haven't won a bet in weeks. GOAT is, I guess I'll say a bet I won today that I probably didn't deserve to win was the Saints. So Devon Vele for catching. Uh, he had a big end of the. Actually, no. I should say that my goat is Kool-Aid McKinstry because on 4th and 1, he made a big tackle that gave him the ball back. And then the Saints. And you know who? Actually, we should shout out who's just fun. I forget his name now. Um, the Saints who have had major kicker issues. Who's the Irish guy? What's his name? Um,
I
uh,
do not know his name off the top of my head.
is it Smythe I don't even know how you pronounce it. Um, Charlie Smythe or Smith? I don't even know. He's Irish. He was part of the international program. His first kick. And by the way, Sauce Gardner, they're saying I think he said his Achilles might should be okay, he thinks. I think they said he's gonna be week to week. But this Irish guy, he kicked a 56-yarder as his first field goal in the NFL. And then he had like the perfect onside kick, but the Saints ended up getting stopped on 4th and 1. So shout out to the Saints. It was a pretty boring NFL
Yeah.
day. That was an exciting finish. And the other one was Jets Falcons. I mean, Nick Folk, all pro. What a kick at the end. He missed one, his first one earlier in the game, but the Jets get the win over the Falcons, who are now in the dirt officially.
Yeah, Terod Taylor proves yet again to be a functional starting quarterback. He is significantly better than Justin Fields. I know this is a conversation that will track us back to I think week 3 or week 4. There is no debate anymore about that. I'm seeing that we have a broken hand for Justin Herbert. That's not his throwing hand, right?
What?
That's we're going. Is that Oppo hand?
I don't think.
Oh
I
my
think his.
God.
I think he.
Are we about to
It
get
would be his other
Percocet
hand.
Herbert?
By the way, next week's huge, a huge game for the Chargers. Next week's in the NFL is really good because you have Texans Chiefs. You could argue that ends up being like an elimination game, especially when you consider the tiebreaker. Texans at 7-5, Chiefs at 6-6, Eagles at Chargers. I mean, they're both at 8-4, but the Chargers, this is their remaining schedule. Like they knew that they had to build up wins. The Chargers are home against the Eagles, then they're at the Chiefs, at the Cowboys, which is now looks much tougher. Home against the Texans, which now looks much tougher, and then at the Broncos. Like none of those are gimmies. So the next week's game becomes super important for them. And the Eagles, all of a sudden, like, do they have to worry about the Cowboys in the division? Yeah. So hopefully for Chargers fans, they don't have to see Trey Lance because Herbert made things happen. It was the Raiders, but that offensive line is
Percocet
still a problem.
Herbert, baby.
Yeah, it is confirmed that it is the left hand, but he'll have until we'll have until Monday to figure that one out. For the fantasy fiends out there, you may want to just slide somebody else in because you're probably not going to know right away. Kendra, what about you before we move on? Goats and woats on the Sunday slate.
My goat, we already talked about the Jags, so I'm going to specifically say LaQuint Allen for telling Jeffrey Simmons to suck his dick. That is my goat. My woat is going to be Max Brosmer because,
Oh, baby.
yeah, obvious
Yeah.
reasons.
You guys were way too excited about him.
And
Yeah,
also,
I
He
bet
was
some money.
terrible.
It was, I mean, he was down 3 offensive linemen against Seattle in Seattle. Should have known how that was going to go. But yeah,
Seattle was the only bet I won today.
I didn't think it could be worse than McCarthy. Um, but yeah, Brosman finishes 19 of 30, 126, 4 interceptions.
That pick six was so Will Levis
That was
coded. It was painful.
that was a Will Levis special. A
My
play
other
you've seen
woat,
Will Levis make a million times.
yeah.
You just can't you just can't do
Just
that.
hold it. Just hold it. Take the
Yeah.
sack. You're not a hero. Just
It was
lay
fourth
down.
down. You weren't going to score
It's
if you
not
did
Madden.
that. And that kind
Yeah.
of flipped the game because the thing is that the like if you in the Steelers game, the game flipped when Rodgers got sacked and it was a defensive touchdown. But throughout that whole game, the Bills were moving the ball on the ground. The Seahawks were not moving the ball. I mean, they averaged 3.5 yards per play. They had 200 total yards. The Flores was in his bag. Like it was tough for Darnold. He was under pressure whenever he dropped back and he was running for his life. You have to just stay in that game in a defensive battle. And that was the worst possible thing you could have done. It was because it was 3-0, right? Yeah, it was 3-0 in at the end of the first half. It's 3-0 with 3 to go. And that flipped the entire game around. So yeah, not a great debut for Max Brosmer.
My other woat is going to be Lane Kiffin, and my other honorary goat is going to be the reporter that called him a hoe because I love that kid. Long live that kid. Justice for that kid. Lane Kiffin is a hoe.
I thought I was having a fever dream when I saw that story play itself out with
was so
the
good.
reporter and the back and forth, and he's going up to the guy. And yeah, I do a sports talk radio show every afternoon in Orlando, Florida. We cover the whole state, and the Lane Kiffin stuff is going to take over. That's going to be. I'm just going to do 3 hours on Lane Kiffin tomorrow. I already
Nobody
know it.
getting on the plane with him from his staff except his brother, and then people showing up to boo him. There was a mom that showed up with like a 6 month old baby who showed up to boo him getting on that plane. Elite. I love the SEC. It just means more. Holy crap.
LSU is at Ole Miss next year, which is
Oof.
amazing.
Ooh.
I think it's in. I think
You
it'll
might
be.
have to coach in a box.
I think it'll be in September. That'll be quite the scene. But yeah, that's a crazy story heading into the college football playoff, which they need to just change the structure, this
Big
their
time.
schedule. Like you have these, there's now three playoff teams that could potentially. Well, North Texas, I think they're going to stay until the end of the year, but like they're in the mix. Their coach was just hired. Tulane, their coach was just hired, and then Lane Kiffin, this whole drama, like it's insane. It's ultimately bad for the sport. Like, can we stay in this season before we get to next season? But getting back to the NFL, the other game I wanted to mention again, fourth downs and turnovers, Browns, 49ers. Shador was okay. He took too many bad sacks. I mean, he had like 40 yards of sacks on 3 sacks. But the Browns, I think the Browns outgained the 49ers. They both averaged like 4 yards per play. Their defense came to play. But the Browns were 0-4 on fourth down. They dropped one, dropped a snap in their own territory. They muffed a punt. But the 49ers made enough plays. That's not an easy place to play, not an easy defense to go up against in those conditions. So you have to give them credit for getting the win. But ugly game. The Browns just fourth downs, mistakes, uh, and the 49ers get the win despite not doing much on offense.
The 49ers knew what they were doing. They were not sending anybody extra at Shador Sanders. They were saying you're going to have to beat this secondary. They knew that they could just send three and then see if Shador Sanders would be able to pick them apart, which he wasn't able to. Next Gen shared a stat that this was the most time that any Browns quarterback had in the pocket all season long, and it was
Yeah.
purposeful.
Yeah, well,
And
the
the
49ers
Niners, and
also
then the
can't get
pressure
they
rate was
can't get
there.
pressure, but they didn't. Yeah, they were just sitting back in their zones. The Browns did have some success running the ball, um, but ultimately you can't go 4 on 4th downs and muff a punt. Oh, by the way, the other games I wanted to mention for next week. Oh, Browns hosting the Titans. That'll be a doozy, especially if there's weather. Uh, Steelers Ravens is now for first place in the division, and then you have
That's
Jags Colts.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
6-6. That's crazy.
Jags Colts for first place. And then I mentioned Texans, Chiefs, and Eagles, Chargers. So there's some big games. And now like Lions, Cowboys. It's crazy to say, but is that close to an elimination game? Because if the Lions now the Cowboys have a tie, so head-to-heads don't matter, but the Cowboys would leapfrog the Lions. Now, but they're both two back. Like if you look at the NFC playoff picture right now, the I think the 49ers are what? Not they have 9 wins? Am I getting that
Yes.
wrong? Yeah, they have
No,
nine
yep.
wins. So the Lions are the first team out. They have 7 wins. They're two full games back. You lose this game, 49ers are on a bye. You're 3 games back going into week 15. And if the Cowboys want to make a push, like every single game, obviously sitting at 6-5-1 is huge. So that's the Thursday night game. So yeah, some really, really big games in the
And,
NFL that will determine, I think, playoff spots next week.
and some fascinating lines that go with it, Stucky. You have the Cowboys, that +3 against a Detroit team that's reeling right now has been staring me in the face the last couple of days. You get the Steelers potentially at +6.5 with the whole Tomlin
Two
as a dog
two
theory.
broken teams right now. I mean, you saw Rodgers today. They had to just go pistol the entire game, which makes their offense very predictable. And I mean, they just got run over. I mean, the Bills set an NFL record, or excuse me, a record in that stadium for most rush yards. I mean, they were running the same 2 rush plays over and over again. The Steelers couldn't do anything about it. Steelers had some defensive injuries worth noting today as well. But yeah, Rodgers with that hand, and just
The nose. The nose really
Yeah,
set
the
me.
nose. The other one that I
Him
wanted to
just sitting,
mention.
the shot of him sitting on the bench just pissed
but I'll say the
was
Ravens
so
offense right now is
funny.
broken too. Like their offensive line is not blocking well. Lamar doesn't have the same burst. They have issues in the red zone. So yeah, that could end up being a classic Ravens
It does.
Steelers 1916 type of game.
Could be
Can we
13 to
make a
10.
can we make a quick note here? We were talking about this before we got on as well. Next year, we need to wait until the absolute last second to put our bets in for Thanksgiving because what a disaster. I might even take Thanksgiving off next year. The quick turnaround for so many teams is just too much to be able to accurately, I think, predict anything.
Well, you mentioned the quick turnaround. We have to give um we have to give we didn't mention Thanksgiving games. Packers, impressive. I thought LaFleur coached a really good game. Um, but the Bears, season ended today. The Bears would be the one seed in the NFC. The one seed, the Bears. They just ran all over the Eagles from start to finish. Ben Johnson, in my opinion, is the coach of the year. And yeah,
Free wieners.
their defense can free wieners. Their defense continues to get turnover luck, and they had an easy schedule and they won some games that they probably shouldn't have in the last minute. But they survived that stretch. And here's the thing, they got their defense is now getting healthier. So the Bears with that run game, and if Caleb Williams continues to grasp that offense, their defense gets healthier. The turnover luck isn't going to last forever, but you have to
What
give
color
Ben
will his
Johnson
nails
credit.
be for the Super Bowl?
The what?
What color will his nails be for the Super Bowl? Do you think we can gamble on it?
Where's the Super
What
Bowl
is the
this year?
Super Bowl logo this
It
year?
it's in San Francisco. I don't know what it is
Well, let's
though.
go
Do
red.
you,
Let's go red on the nail polish then.
do you know those people that always say that there's like a conspiracy with the logo? You ever seen that?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Every year the
The
color of the
logo
Super Bowl logo
says
predicts the
that's
matchup.
yeah. Well,
But last
isn't
year
it?
it didn't. Last year there was purple. The Ravens didn't make it.
T.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
it's
What is it
people
this year?
people think there's conspiracies for everything. This year it's. Am I looking at this one right? It looks like it's
Is it
blue,
rainbow? Oh my God, it is Caleb Williams, you guys. The Bears are going to the Super Bowl.
I don't care
blue.
how big of a football fan you are. Nobody knows what number Super Bowl we're on
No.
unless you look it up. Nobody
Yeah, you
knows
guys,
that.
wait. This is so cutie. I love it. I'm a big Caleb Williams fan, so whatever.
Blue and
Um,
yellow.
Anyways,
So I would say blue and yellow. Is that, can we stretch that to the Jaguars? No.
blue and
all
yellow. We
right.
could go
Anyways,
Lions, Jags
Yeah, the blue and
potentially,
yellow.
but
There's some blue and some brownish yellow, but
the Patriots,
maybe that's the Rams.
Patriots,
who
Rams.
again?
Who would pink be? I don't know. I'll have to like check out Reddit and see what the Super Bowl logo conspiracy people are saying. Um, but all right, you got to toss to
I do.
an ad
I
read.
wanted to wrap the original point that Kendra was making. I wrote this exact note to myself before we even discussed it before we went live. Go lighter around Thanksgiving. Not a bad idea. Attention is split. We're not as focused. We're forcing plays. Take that for what it's worth. If you also had a shitty day of betting, and then we'll be better next year as a community. Before we get to Sunday Night Football, let's toss to Kendra about a word from DraftKings.
The Favorites podcast is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, and in partnership with DraftKings, our listeners get a great offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets if your bet wins, plus 3 months of NBA League Pass. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. To get started, use promo code FAVORITES when signing up with DraftKings. That's code FAVORITES when signing up with DraftKings for 3 months of NBA League Pass and $200 back in bonus bets if your bet wins. The crown is yours.
Broncos at Commanders. We got the Commanders catching 6.5 here. Totals at 43.5. I will be taking the night off after the beatdown that was week 13. But Kendra, are we on anything here?
Ew, no. I
Okay.
hate this game so much. Ew, no. I'm going to clean my apartment and unpack and have this on as background noise.
Terry McLaurin is back. Jaden Daniels might be returning in week 14. 77% of the bets, 72% of the money on the Denver Broncos. What about you, Stuckey?
Yeah, I bet the Commanders, although I've been coldest better at America, so I would maybe that means to bet Denver, but I don't know. I just think the line's a little too high. This is everything that I bet in the NFL: buy low, sell high. I mean, I think we're at the peak of the market on the Broncos. They've won what, eight straight. They haven't won a game by more than 3 points on the road or even away from home if you include the Jets, by more than 4 points all year. If you include the Jets when they threw for -10 passing yards with Justin Fields. And I think we're probably close to the bottom of the market on the Commanders. They're on an extended losing streak. The one thing I'm counting on, I mean, Mariota is still a functional backup. You got McLaurin back. Sertan is back, which does give a boost to the Denver defense. Obviously, you can shut down one side of the field. It gives them ultimate flexibility. But I'm counting on the Commanders defense just looking more professional under with Dan Quinn calling the plays. I think that they did a decent job against Miami. Now you could say it's Miami, that's fair, but just structurally, communication wise, they look better. So coming out of the bye, this is still Bo Nix. He's still been, a bottom three quarterback in success rate over the first three quarters. A team that struggles to build margin, a team that struggles to build margin against really bad teams. And the Jets, the Raiders at home. You might have some weather here. I haven't seen an updated weather forecast, but that could serve as a neutralizer. But yeah, I took the 6 points. Probably will regret it, but I did bet that. By the way, I found a thread. Everyone is saying the background of that emblem is purple. So everyone was saying Ravens, Lions. That's the consensus from the
Not
conspiracy.
looking great.
Yeah,
No.
Not looking great
might
on
have to
that.
change
Ben,
the logo.
you just want a long shot for the day. Maybe,
Ben Zanat touchdown.
yeah, there you go. That's the one. Might throw $2 on that, see if I can save the afternoon. All right, let's get to our DraftKings Monday Night Football Fast Pass Parlay before we settle in for the night game or cleaning our apartment or cleaning out the refrigerator, whatever it is you're doing tonight. I guess
He's
we
hard
need
at
to
work. We
throw
got a guest.
we gotta throw Giants plus 7.5 in there because that one's for Stucky. That was part of our parlay, and we unfortunately did not get a chance to see if that would be the one that cashed it for us. So we get 2 thumbs up on that, Stucky, before Kendra and I add to the mix.
Yeah, it's a 7.5. I think the Giants are worth a look. Now it's you have Dart coming back from concussion. Didn't see it with Stroud today, but historically you do see a bit of a dip. But I think the key here is the offensive line injuries for the Patriots. They don't have great depth there going up against the Giants defensive line. That could make a difference. So yeah, from a side perspective, that's the only way I could look.
So we all
I agree.
tend to be in a little bit of agreement here as far as the Giants should be able to give the Patriots a fight here. Giants plus 7.5. I'm going to throw Jackson Dart anytime touchdown in there at plus 320. 5 straight games that he's played with a rushing touchdown, 7 on the season. Feel pretty good about that. If the Giants play well, it's because he's still running around and being himself. I like him to get into the end zone. What about you, Kendra?
Kravitz and I were filling out our notes at the exact same time, and I was going to fill that out as my pick for tonight, but then I saw his rushing yard total is 29.5. I love that. I think he's going to be on the run quite a bit tomorrow night. He also is on the run just in general. I feel like most weeks this feels low to me. I like the 29.5 over.
So
So
kind of
there,
correlated, all
yeah,
correlated.
very much so.
But because I think that yeah, Dart's the only thing I would worry about is if Dart coming back from a concussion, he doesn't run as much, or but
There's
they're
no
going to
way
need
that he
him.
feels that way
Yeah,
though,
they're going to need
because
him to use his legs, and yeah, when he's near the goal line, that's one of their most effective plays is him using his legs and
yeah,
running.
But
he's
that's
also
where I
just
think the
insane.
we get a little bit of a discount on him. I think for that exact reason, for that paranoia, because his rushing yard number, I believe, has set more in the mid 40s than at 29.5. So I think that is very much baked in here.
Yeah,
The
I
number
think
on
so
that,
too.
by the way, plus 800 for the Giants, plus 7.5. Jackson Dart anytime touchdown, and Jackson Dart to record at least 30 rushing yards. You can throw that in over at DraftKings. The crown is yours. The favorites will return next Tuesday afternoon right here on the Action Network YouTube page when we talk NFL Week 14. Good luck with your bets tonight. Hopefully you do better than we did, and we'll see you next time right here on the Favorites podcast. For Stuckey, Kendra Middleton, Evan Abrams, Gifford Gould, David Payne, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight, presented by DraftKings. Let's cash these tickets.
Duval.